allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take a moment of silence, please. Roll call, Ray?
Counselor Chamberlain?
Here.
Counselor Heising?
Here.
Counselor Schneider?
Here.
Counselor Simon?
Here.
Counselor Tiarena?
Here.
We have 5 members present. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Council has had time to review the prior meeting minutes. Can we get a motion?
I will move on that.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. And all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, let's move on to department head reports. And we'll start with Chief Kessler.
I'd like to thank everyone that came a few minutes early today and attended the promotional ceremony with us. Jed is now a lieutenant. Halloween's coming up. After all the trick-or-treaters get done with trunk or treat and everything else going on, at 7:30, we have donuts and cider at the fire station. Other than that, crews have just been busy with Fire Prevention Month out in the schools. Today they were out at the primary school interacting with the first graders. It's just a busy month for us that way.
Good. Questions at all? Okay, Chief Chittenden.
Been busy finishing up the union contracts and the budget request for this year. Got mine submitted today, and the contracts, I believe, all the way looked at and approved for everything. So I should have those to you before the next council meeting for your review, and hopefully have a motion for that to be approved.
Need a resolution.
Or a resolution, sorry. Halloween coming up. At the end of the month, we have a trunk or treat downtown Fulton Street from 4:30 to 6, and then trick or treat from 6 to 7:30. So the streets will be very busy. I know downtown gets really packed, certain areas around the city. So just remind everybody to kind of slow down and pay attention, especially during those times. And then we have a drug take back day this Saturday, the 26th, from 10 to 2. We actually have a 24/7 drop box, but DEA does promote out an actual drug take back day from 10 to 2 on the last Saturday of every April and October.
And that's here?
Yes.
As well.
Yep. Here as well. That's all I have for tonight.
Hopefully we won't have any hail and snow and ice for this year's trunk or treat, which was still well attended by many. That's always neat. Okay, questions for Chief? Keith?
Update from Thursday. We had a busy weekend. We had 2 more water breaks over the weekend, bringing us up to 22 for the year compared to 12 for last year. So you don't, and this is not our bad time either. We're going into the winter months when we have a considerable number more. So we're hoping that we're slowing down at least on that.
Have you guys tried to diagnose what's causing?
I think a lot of it is just how dry the
The
soil is, and
hammering too.
the vibrations from the cars going over top of it is just causing it. And then all it takes is a couple of fires and the firemen opening and closing the hydrant. I mean, even experienced people opening and closing them. Like I said, we had 3 breaks the other day just because the hydrant slipped, and when it did, it hammered and caused 3 breaks on the old pipe. That's why we're trying to get the old infrastructure out and get new in so that we don't have that problem.
Wow.
Fulton Street is coming along nicely. I think we've successfully torn up that block as much as we can. We have 1 more water tap to make for a residential tap, and then we will be hooking up at Oak Street, taking out the old line, hooking up the new line to it, and then hooking up at Jefferson Street, and then hopefully the following week we will be repaving that, so it's a little bit smoother of a ride on Fulton Street. And then we are still on schedule to have that fully repaved next year, hopefully around August, September time, depending on ODOT's schedule.
Keith, can you get something out once it's completed, why that road is not going to be completed this fall? Because the ground has to settle, we have to pack it down, and it takes a full season for that to happen, so that when it gets bad and it's cold and everything starts shifting.
We didn't want to repave it, but I know what's going to happen if we don't. You start putting a snow plow over there, hitting those ruts, it's going to tear the trucks up, it's going to tear the road up, so we are going to have to at least get it repaved, the one section that's torn up, so that we can properly plow snow and it's not a constant roller coaster ride for our residents.
And we're gonna be redoing Fulton Street all the way to Leggett, right? Sorry. To the railroad tracks.
To the railroad,
Working,
to the
working,
railroad
working.
tracks. Now, if someone wants to donate money for the south side of the Fulton Street, I will be more than happy to take it. And we will put it to good use.
Thanks.
Other than that, I think that's all the updates that I have at this time, unless someone has questions.
Anything with the hybrid beacon going on?
Absolutely no contact from them, so I am assuming at this point in time, they still have not got the pipes, but it is supposed to be done by Friday. That's what it's scheduled to be done.
That'd be nice.
Although once they get it, it won't take long to finish it. Everything is ready to go for it.
Okay. Any other questions? Hey, Tom?
So I don't really have much to report. I would just point out to council that as soon as I'm done, I guess, we're gonna have a public hearing on the planning commission's recommendation to alter the zoning designation for the 5 parcels out at the Wauseon Plaza from B4 to B2. So the council will have that public hearing, then vote on whether to accept or reject that recommendation. And assuming if it's approved, then council will have before it resolution or ordinance 2024-5, which would simply approve that approved recommendation, I guess, the council decides in that direction. I guess that's really all I have. I think our firm will be participating in the trunk or treat. I understand
Oh,
that
good.
the theme might be, last year was witches.
Witches,
This
yeah.
year it might be, sorry, cops and robbers. So, I don't know.
Obviously, you'll be dressed up in stripes, right?
That's convicts, yeah, condemned.
And I actually seen a first up in Frankenmuth. They have what is called the Witches' Walk. 192 witches walking around all day long, up and down the streets. And one mushroom. I didn't get that. But it was pretty cool. Any other questions for Tom?
So safety and code, we're needing to have a safety and code meeting. Does that mean that the food truck stuff and those resolutions are?
Those are not ready
Right.
yet, I apologize. Yeah. I know.
Okay.
Next time,
Next time, okay.
yeah.
Perfect.
I'll get to those, they're on my front burner.
Okay.
To quote a famous movie titled Money Pit, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It'll soon be college basketball season, so it might take.
No, we need to get it done before that.
2 weeks.
Okay.
I appreciate your patience.
All right, council, we will be holding a public hearing on the recommendation by the Planning Commission that the zoning designation of the 5 parcels which comprise the Wauseon Plaza on North Shoup Avenue be changed from a B4 to a B2. Reading ahead again, so sorry.
I'd make a motion to enter into a public hearing.
I will second. Motion to enter into a public hearing moved by Counselor Chamberlain and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Right now, is there anybody here wishing to be heard on the zoning change? If you would, yeah, come on up and just state your name so we have it on.
I'm
record.
John Howie from Wauseon Plaza.
Oh, okay.
If there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
I did have one question. I was told in one of our meetings that it was formerly a B2.
Yes.
Why was it changed to a B4?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, and I'm glad that Danny educated me on it, about the change and everything, and we talked about it with some possible future tenants coming in. And I think it'd be better for the city of Wauseon, it'd be better for our plaza and the current tenants in there.
Right. Yeah, that was switched a while back. I'm not sure why they went, maybe it's a possibility of residential, I don't know. Something, doctor's office, something, I don't know. So, any other questions?
Do you think this will help with activity in the plaza?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I actually feel the plaza is starting to be more active with business, so appreciate that.
Yes.
How many open spots are there in the plaza right now?
Well, I just rented 3 today, so I'm pretty happy about that. We have a good mix in there. There's the bowling alley, which is B3. I mean, B2, it should be B2, so I'm not sure what happened with that. Last week I had a call on the bowling alley.
Really?
We need to get scoring in there, and I'll work with the tenants on the scoring. 2 prior tenants before that said they were going to do scoring. I gave them the free rent, and then all of a sudden we never got the scoring. So I'm going to work that a little bit differently this year, or this time around. But things are turning around there. We have Baldi's. We got a lot of good tenants in there, and I love the plaza.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, moving on, we need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the rezoning of the Wauseon Plaza from B4 to B2, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Simon. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, can we get a motion to exit our public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion to exit a public hearing, moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Only one other question, Mr. Howie, if I could, now that we're out of the session, is the one thing that bothers me about is the parking lot on the north end. It is so high of grade there and it floods. And at times I've actually seen children walking through there. Is there anything that can be done in that?
Unfortunately not. You know what that is? It's a retention area.
I
So
knew that.
there is a restrictor on there where we had to do that years ago because it was,
Right.
my understanding was flooding out the other
Yes,
area.
It
So
used to be
we,
flat there. I
so
remember.
we had to retain the water. And, I've had these discussions with Dollar Tree and everything else. Because it's retains the water, it's doing its job. But it does create some problems.
So that's intentional.
That's
That-
intentional.
okay,
There's a
gotcha.
restrictor on there
Good to
before
know.
it goes into your main line.
Good to know. I always thought that was something that just is
Right.
in need of repair.
That's what I
Right,
thought
right.
too, yeah.
I know
No,
that
it's-
when people utilize that, and I'm just wondering, with the light, if that exit is needed then, and to enter and go out, just because you cannot see down below when there's water down there. As you're-
I've actually witnessed a truck on there. I'd be up for suggestions. I know
Great.
there's two back-to-back ones right there.
Mhm.
It seems like we can probably close one of them off.
Absolutely.
But we do need to keep something open, I think, for the semis.
For delivery.
Oh, for the back
Delivery.
delivery.
Yeah, for the back delivery.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Good discussion. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving on. The first reading. Ordinance 2024-5 is an ordinance amending the codified ordinance chapter 1117, an establishment of districts and maps, and amending the official zoning map and declaring an emergency.
I'd make a motion to declare an emergency on ordinance 2024-5.
I will second that.
Motion to place ordinance 2024-5 on emergency reading, moved by Counselor Chamberlain and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final.
Second.
Motion to place ordinance 2024-5 on final reading, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, second readings. Resolution 2024-29 is a resolution authorizing the City of Wauseon, Wauseon Fire Department to enter into a clinical affiliation agreement with Rhodes State College.
Second reading.
I'll say.
Did you second or not?
Motion to place resolution 2024-29 on second reading, moved by Counselor Chamberlain and seconded by Counselor Simon. Any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, third reading of legislation is the ordinance 2024-4, which is an ordinance amending the codified ordinances of the City of Wauseon to include new section 191.21. 3 times the ordinance in one sentence.
This is the landlord one.
Oh.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
Motion to place ordinance 2024-4 on third reading, moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Simon. Any discussion? Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, that we can get started on. Under new business, we need a motion to authorize the mayor or her designee to execute an agreement with Lexipol for a grant writing service. Maybe from
I'll do
South
that.
Fulton.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I will second. We're a little slow here.
Motion to authorize the mayor or her designee to execute an agreement with Lexipol for grant writing services, moved by Counselor Simon and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion?
So for Lexipol grant writing services, are they going to be written into the grant as well to do services, or they're just supporting the writing?
That's a me question.
Oh,
So my staff works with them and supplies them
I'm sorry.
with a list of topics that we can apply for. And one of our needs is an SCBA compressor system bottoms racks. We're outdated as of this year. And it's about $500,000 to replace. And so their staff works with ours, getting all the data on the machine, the bottles, the racks, and then they get all the grant required federal questions answered, you know, your population, densities, response area, all that stuff. And then Lexipol puts all that together and helps complete the boxes. And then once they've done their portion, we've proofed it, we sit down as staff and we go through and actually apply online to FEMA.
okay. So they're just supporting it. They're not actually doing any services inside of it. Cool.
So they also, and I'm not sure what you mean by doing any services inside of it, but
Like, if you were awarded the grant, they're not helping you do anything beyond writing the
No.
grant? Okay,
No,
that was just my
correct.
question.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
They also do policies and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a separate module for them, but
Right.
yes.
And they do, I mean, we have it at the sheriff's office,
Yep.
it's a good setup.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nice,
Very
okay.
knowledgeable for law enforcement and fire, public
Yes.
safety in general.
And the county, do they still have the grant writer?
Yes.
The county level, so that would be kind of like our, we have the Lexipol and with
Then
this
the expert.
program added to it, you get that ability.
Nice, okay, cool.
These guys still gotta do the data work and
Right.
everything to them.
These grant writers have a networking connection with the people that, at the federal level, that proof all the assistant to firefighter grants and stuff, so they kind of know what you're looking for.
Right, what the readers are looking at,
Right.
yeah,
Which is why
yeah.
we've been very successful. I mean, we've gotten almost $500,000 in grants since we started in the last, 4 years, 3 years.
Nice,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Okay.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
All right. We need a motion to authorize the mayor or her designee to execute an addendum to the client service agreement with Medi-Account Management Incorporated.
Help us out with a refresher.
This allows us to join a program being pushed out by the current state administration on recouping money for ambulance providers in Ohio. And so based on our Medicaid reimbursements, which are low, this program, by joining this, will help boost those returns on us. Because right now, you're lucky to get a couple $100 for an ambulance ride, and it costs us $1,500 to put the truck on the road with the manpower and the equipment. So, I mean, we've all seen over time all the private ambulances come and go because it's just not a viable model. So,
Thanks for the refresher. I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion to authorize the mayor or her designee to execute an addendum to the client services agreement with Medi-Account Management. Moved by Counselor Chamberlain and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. Any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
I have nothing written under old business. Anyone else?
So, maybe this is new or whatever, but I saw Bargain Bin decorating some things, putting signs out on my way in. They do such an awesome job, so I just want to give a shout out to Bargain Bin
Yeah.
for just keeping downtown looking alive and
It's something
vibrant.
new, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
And
they do
it
such
it
a great
does
job.
stem from the holiday committee of the meeting and different ideas, but they are the go-getters. And so is the Perfect Pair here.
Oh, okay.
And they've been working hard, and it's been a lot of people working together on everything down there. And it does make Wauseon look good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you for that.
Real quick, Keith, looking at the check run that Jamie sent out to us, there's like a $13,000 check that we cut to ARS. Do you think that was payment for the unlimited trash drop-off?
I was gonna say probably not. It could have, part of it could have been, but part of it is just our
Contract?
contract with them, because we do have quite a bit that comes out of the water reclamation plan on a monthly basis. It gets taken to the landfill.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Shane has asked to, no, we need to pay the bills first.
I'll
Let's
make
pay our
that
bills.
motion. Pay the bills. I second.
Motion to approve and pay the bills as presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Chamberlain. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, we need a motion to enter into an executive session for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion to enter into executive session, moved by Counselor Tiarena and seconded by Counselor Chamberlain. Any discussion? Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.